Why do hinges creak in doorless chambers? How come strange and frightening sounds echo through the halls? Why do candlelights flicker, though the air is deathly still? How are the haunted mansion's ghosts present, practicing their terror with ghoulish delight? All across the United States, ghosts fill the quarters of many haunted mansions. The Haunted Mansion is an antebellum house on the outskirts of New Orleans, or a regal Italianate estate in the lush green state of Pennsylvania, or a beautiful aging Second Empire-style house on the dusty plains of Nevada. Yes, there are 3 official haunted mansions we will be visiting in this theory. But the question remains, why is the mansion haunted? We're going to go a bit deeper into the theories and connections the mansions could possibly hold that correspond to not only spiritualistic practices, but also the deep lore and how possible the connections they share could work. Hauntings are sometimes caused by traumatic events that become residual energy. Now, this isn't directly said, but the New Orleans mansion was based on a plantation. Therefore, it would go without saying much traumatic experiences would have occurred. The Pennsylvanian estate probably lived through the American Revolution. And lastly, Phantom Manor, the Nevada residence. We know its traumatic events, the curse of Thunder Mountain and the Thunderbird, Melanie Ravenswood's abusive, murderous father, the handful of dead fiancés. Traumatic events marking all these territories could cause traumatic residual energy left on the land. But here is when we start to get into the really odd happenings. We clearly know these mansions can warp reality. The New Orleans residence has a boundless void as a loading platform. And all 3 mansions operate under extra unaccounted time and have a never-ending perpetual hallway. Now, if one were to ride any of these attractions, they'd likely notice a near-constant overlap of scenes. And though they've entered different houses, once inside, at some point, have they come to be the same house? As I suggest, yes, they do. Here's how. I propose the houses aren't just individual places, but dimensionally the same place, as we are in a constant flux of reality the entire ride. Clearly, we know some portals of some kind are open here. There could be multiple explanations. Madame Leota is an obvious choice. But let's go deeper. It could be the very land the mansion is tied to. Although Madame Leota can summon, there are some places around the world that hold more spiritual energy than others. And these places have usually always been like this since prehistory. To add on to that, most reports of such land also coincide with a lot more paranormal activity. Let it be spirits who find themselves in a location by traveling through a type of ley line of energy, or natural spirits and entities that have always resided there, defending their territory or causing havoc, causing accidents. Though these places are rare, they are not unheard of in the paranormal and spiritual communities. Then would come another, perhaps more bizarre explanation, crossing into speculation. Introducing Skinwalker Ranch and Stardust Ranch. For those of you who know of these locations, you're probably thinking, those are aliens, not ghosts. And which I would say, for the most part, yes. But these places have other reports that could coincide with the Haunted Mansion's property lines, and explain why so many bad things happen here and gather here, as well as why they're connected. These places are well believed to be cursed as far back as the native Navajo people roaming the land. There are reports of ghost lights at these locations, orbs that appear and disappear at will, such as can be seen in the Haunted Mansion. There are also overwhelming reports of calamity and accidents on these properties. Such can be found at all the haunted mansions. Even in Phantom Manor, openly residing on cursed land, a direct parallel to the land such as Skinwalker Ranch. But wait, there's more. Skinwalker Ranch also has reports of portals opening up and beings coming out of them. The paranormal investigators from National Institute for Discovery Science spotted what would look to be sky and sunlight on the other side, like a wormhole. This leads me to propose that the mansions inside overlap in a similar manner through such wormholes. But I mentioned, Skinwalker Ranch is also known for aliens, but there's nothing of the sort in the Haunted Mansion. And yes, you'd probably think that, but then again, I put forward this record made in 1964 and sold in Disneyland in direct connection to the Haunted Mansion, with one track openly named The Martian Monsters. May not be much to go by, but at least from that we know the aliens weren't completely out of Imagineers' minds when creating the mansion, so it's not completely far-fetched. Too bad I don't have a Disney Parks mythos connection that ties aliens and ghosts together, and I'll be damned if I can find a portal connection that ties those together too. But I do. Located in Tomorrowland, we can find Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy, where we are sent in by rocket to examine a planet that's been encompassed in a green cloud, messing with the space agency's technology functions, only to find a giant spirit, or ghost in layman's terms, that appears throughout the space field using a green cloud as a portal. That ghost may be a nature spirit, an ever-living entity, but I digress. If it happens in one attraction, is it too far-fetched to suggest it happens in another? Now, I could go on into how the Nightmare Before Christmas creatures can portal jump into our world too for the holiday season, but again, I digress. I leave you with one last thought. What if the mansion has consciousness? What if that's one unseen connection, a combination of consciousness created by very particular situations? These three houses found themselves in not only the right traumatic historical settings, but a natural energy field, residents practicing spiritualism in life, and a place already haunted by natural entities. All of these events morphed together to create one haunted mansion. That was part 1. Part 2 is coming out later, and discusses what type of spirits haunt the mansion. But until then...
Hurry back.